Do you consider yourself a strong woman? The kind who can take a hit, who doesn't bend in the face of challenges, who holds her head high even when the world seems to be falling apart? Great. But what if I told you that your very strength, without a solid foundation of inner wisdom, could be exactly what the world uses to break you? Think for a moment. How many times have you felt the weight of expectations, the sting of an unexpected betrayal, the exhaustion of fighting for something that seems unattainable? The world, with its unpredictability and injustices, has a peculiar way of testing our resilience, of pushing us to our limits. And often, it's precisely our strength, our ability to keep going, that prevents us from pausing and asking, am I truly getting stronger or just hardening myself for the next blow? The truth is that being strong only on the outside, without inner preparation, is like building a beautiful house on sandy ground. At the first storm, cracks begin to appear. For us women, this metaphor is even more real. We live in a world that teaches us to be strong in countless ways, to be perfect mothers, tireless professionals, understanding partners, devoted daughters. We carry invisible burdens, social pressures, and often the pain that comes from disappointments, losses, or injustices that seem to haunt us. And what do? We endure, we hold on, we swallow it, until the day something breaks inside. What if true strength wasn't just your ability to endure, but your wisdom in processing what hits you? Stoicism, an ancient philosophy that flourished in Greece and Rome, doesn't invite you to be cold or indifferent, far from it. It invites you to be unbreakable, not by being impenetrable, but by being flexible and wise at your core. It teaches you to transform every scar into a guiding star, every stumble into a stepping stone, and every pain into a source of power. It's not about avoiding pain, but about learning to dance with it, to extract from it the lesson that will take you to a new level of wisdom and peace. Human history is replete with narratives of pain. And for us women, these stories often come with nuances of resilience and silent overcoming. Think of historical figures like Arya the Elder, who demonstrated that physical pain is small compared to mental strength, or Fania, who proved that her voice could not be silenced even by an empire. They didn't completely break. Why? Because even without the label of Stoics, they embodied principles of acceptance, discernment, and inner strength that are the very soul of Stoicism. They learned that we cannot control what happens to us, but we can and must control how we react to what happens. This is the essence of the Stoic dichotomy of control, focusing on what is within your power and accepting with serenity what is not. For a woman who often feels compelled to control everything and everyone around her, her family, her work, even the emotions of others, this lesson is a game changer. Freeing yourself from the illusion of control over externals is like taking an immense weight off your shoulders. It's recognizing that your peace doesn't depend on how others act, but on how you choose to respond. Then see how Stoicism can be a strong woman's greatest weapon. The first reaction is anger, hurt, perhaps a desire for revenge or to prove your worth to whoever hurt you. But Stoicism invites you to pause. Can I control the other person's action? No. Can I control my reaction? Yes. Instead of being consumed by pain and reactivity, you can choose to observe that emotion, acknowledge its presence, but not allow it to dictate your actions. You can ask yourself, what is this experience teaching me about myself, about my limits, about what I truly value? It is in this process of introspection and analysis, in this act of transforming reactivity into reflection, that pain transmutes into wisdom. The scar remains, but it is now a map, not an open wound. The wisdom of Epictetus, a former slave who became one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, is a beacon here. He reminds us, it's not events that disturb us, but our judgments about events. How many times do we disturb ourselves more with our interpretation of something than with the event itself? A careless comment, a missed promotion, a relationship that didn't work out. The event happens. Your mind, however, can turn it into a 1,000-headed monster. Stoic practice gives you the tools to disarm these internal monsters, to question your own judgments, and to replace them with a more rational and virtuous perspective. Spirituality on this journey doesn't manifest in rigid dogmas, but in the connection to something greater than your immediate self. For many women, this could be the force of nature, a sense of community, or a belief in universal order. The Stoics spoke of the logos, the universal reason that governs the cosmos. For you, it might be faith in your own capacity for resilience, the belief that there's a greater purpose even in your difficulties. When pain comes, and it will, this spiritual connection, this Stoic mindset, reminds you that you are part of something vast, that you have the ability to go through whatever comes, maintaining your integrity. Think of the metaphor of a seed on asphalt. The seed has life within it. It didn't choose to fall on hot, hard asphalt instead of fertile soil. But if it finds a tiny crack of light, a drop of water, it will fight to sprout. It doesn't break. It adapts its form, its direction, and finds a way to grow, pushing through the asphalt with incredible force, not through violence, but through persistence and the life that pulses within it. Your pain can be the asphalt, and Stoicism is the inner strength that allows you to find the crack and sprout, not despite the pain, but through the pain. It's important to understand that this journey isn't about denying your emotions. On the contrary, it's about feeling your emotions fully, but with discernment. A Stoic woman is not a robot without feelings. She is someone who allows herself to feel the sadness of loss, the frustration of failure, the anger of injustice. But she doesn't allow these emotions to control her. She observes them, learns from them, and directs them toward constructive actions, instead of drowning in them or allowing them to consume her in destructive reactivity. This is the difference between strength that hardens and strength that liberates. The Stoic mindset teaches us to live with virtue in all circumstances: wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. When pain tries to break you, wisdom will make you question your judgments. Courage will make you face reality, however harsh, without collapsing. Justice will remind you to act with integrity, even when others fail. And temperance will help you maintain emotional balance without extremes of euphoria or despair. These are not just beautiful words in ancient books. They are compasses for the life of a woman who refuses to be defined by her scars. When a strong woman decides to learn Stoicism, she's not looking for a way to be less sensitive or less human. She's looking for a way to be unbreakable. This is Stoicism's central promise for the modern woman. The ability to navigate life is storms with a serenity that transcends external chaos. She doesn't just survive. She thrives because her strength isn't the absence of pain, but the mastery of dealing with it. For us women in a world that demands unrealistic perfection and pushes us toward burnout, the story of Stoic women is an invitation to a powerful redefinition of what it means to be strong. It's not about never crying, but about crying with purpose. It's about recognizing that the most important validation comes from within, from the certainty that you are living according to your highest values, no matter what the external world might take from you. The Stoic practice of distinguishing what is within our control from what is not is your anchor in moments of despair. Losses, injustices, pressures, these events are beyond your control. But the way you choose to respond, the attitude you maintain, the dignity with which you live your tragedies, that is entirely yours. By focusing on what is intrinsically yours, you become invulnerable to what is not. For the modern woman, this means not being crushed by job loss, disappointment in a relationship, or unfair criticism. It means directing your energy towards your own integrity, your virtue, and your inner peace, which no one can steal. This active acceptance of fate, combined with the courage to face circumstances, is an act of profound feminine autonomy. In a society that often tries to control us through guilt or fear, Stoicism gives you the key to your own prison. You free yourself from the need for a perfect world to find your peace. Your peace resides within you, an unshakable oasis, even amidst the greatest droughts or storms. Stoic spirituality here manifests in unshakable trust in your own capacity to transcend suffering and in the universal order that governs life's cycles. It's the faith that just as autumn and winter are followed by spring, adversity can be followed by growth and renewal. You don't control the harshness of the seasons, but you cultivate your inner roots and trust that light will return. This mindset allows a woman to see adversity not as a punishment, but as an opportunity to develop an inner strength that makes her a beacon of serenity for herself and, by extension, for the world. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher-emperor, reminds us in his Meditations. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. Stoic women like those we've already explored, Arria, Porcia, Fannia, Marcia, Helvia, and many others, embodied this truth. The pain of loss, repression, injustice was real, but their deep distress was a judgment they learned to control. They didn't let themselves be defined by what happened to them, but by how they chose to respond with unshakable dignity and purpose. The woman who knows Stoicism doesn't seek adversity, but she doesn't fear it. She doesn't hide from her vulnerabilities, but she knows them and transforms them into a gateway to her resilience. She doesn't allow the world to label her as fragile or defeated. She defines herself by her courage, her self-mastery, and her unshakable dignity. Her life becomes a testament that every strong woman should know Stoicism, because it is this philosophy that offers the tools for a full, resilient, and truly free life. It's a journey to become not just strong, but indomitable. So, the next time you feel at your limit, when losses or repression try to bring you down, remember the Stoic lessons. Remember that your strength isn't the absence of pain, but the ability to master it. Take a deep breath, connect with your inner citadel, and activate the wisdom, courage, and temperance that reside within you. Woman, you have the power to forge your own unbreakability. If this message resonated with you, if it made you feel a latent strength and gave you a glimpse of your own capacity for overcoming, well, then I invite you to take the next step on this journey of self-discovery and empowerment, like this video, because your like is a sign that you are choosing wisdom and resilience. Share it with that woman you admire, the one you know needs to remember her own unshakable strength. She needs to know Stoicism. And of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our next encounters with Stoic wisdom, where we'll continue to unlock the secrets of a full, unshakable, and authentic life. Your journey to becoming a truly indomitable woman begins here,